will help you build discipline, but do it in a fun, vibrationally healthy way instead of this dark, heavy way that we usually always see on social media. So the next one is build habits that don't rely on feelings. So build systems, not emotions. Often we have something that we have to do, something we need to do, but we just don't feel like it. You hear this a lot, right? I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like. Understand that emotions are fleeting. Like, I can give you a Ferrari or a new car or a Lamborghini, and that's going to fuel you for the year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, but eventually it's just going to become your baseline. You may get tired of the Lamborghini. Oh, it's a two-seater. I can't put things in the car. So understand that you can't rely on completely your emotions. You have to build actual systems for these things. Like, I don't know if you could see, but I have a workout plan there. I have a habit tracker that I need to fill out. It's completely blank right now. But I have a habit tracker, and these things allow me to have systems around my discipline, right? Now, if I didn't have a habit tracker, or I didn't have a workout plan, then I'd be kind of relying on just how I feel that day. I feel like making a video. I feel like studying. I feel like working out. Now, it's cool, dude. Some days you're really going to feel like it, but some days you're just not. And what's interesting about the human body is it relies on a state of homeostasis. So it wants to stay at the exact same position, the exact same spot, which is not good for growth. As humans, we have to evolutionize. We want to evolve. We want to grow so we can expand onto who we truly are. But if we rely on our current feelings to dictate our future goals, then we won't reach our future goals at all. We must tap into what that future goal may feel like right now. Personally, for me, I tell myself, I have 100K subscribers on YouTube. Bam, I got 100K subscribers on YouTube. If you're watching this video, I might have 100K right now. Who knows? I might have 1 million. These are arbitrary ass numbers, but it held me back. Back in the day, it held me back. Oh, I don't want to make a video because I don't have 100K yet. But in order to reach that 100K, what do you have to do? You have to make a video, right? So it's just this cycle or a loop that most people fall into. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym because I'm not physically fit. Well, in order to be physically fit, you gotta go to the gym. See how ridiculous that whole concept is of I don't want to do the thing because I'm not here. But in order to get there, I must do the thing, which makes people tied down to their old identity, their old character. Attach your actions to your identity. 5 years ago, I was a completely different person. Not completely different, I was still me, but you get the point. I was smoking weed, wasn't working out, didn't really have any views or have any thoughts for my future. I read an interesting book called Cybernetics, and it talks about how would you must build the identity that you want to be healthy today. What would a person today and what wants to build that identity? You must ask yourself, what would that person do? So it's an interesting concept. So there's an interesting concept by Neville Goddard, and it's called live in the end. Because truly, all we have is the present moment. The future doesn't exist, and the past is very muddy. We can't truly know exactly how the past went, even if it's on camera, right? We don't really know exactly how certain events went down. So at the end of the day, we only have the present moment. So if you're looking towards the future and you're thinking, oh, I want to be this, I want to be this, how about you just become? Because nothing bad happens if you just say, I'm a financially healthy person, but in the past you got into debt and you did this and you did this. But in the present moment, you can just adapt those traits. Isn't that an interesting thing? In the present moment, you can just adopt the traits of the person who is physically healthy. You can just say, you know what, today I am physically healthy. Now, what would that physically healthy person do? See, our minds work as a goal accomplishing mechanism. We are evolutionized to this fact. So your mind wants to accomplish goals. It wants to, but at the same time it wants to be comfortable. It wants to be in homeostasis. So find that balance by tying your actions to your identity that you want to be. If you want to have a better body, you must become the person who already has that body. And that's how you make discipline easy, because it just is who you are. Like working out, I'm not gonna lie, bro, it doesn't give me that much discipline. Like it doesn't feel like I have to have a lot of discipline to do so. That's because I just told myself I'm the person who works out, I'm the person who exercises, I'm the person who's healthy, I'm the person, I'm just that person. So there's not a lot of discipline when you are just that person. See, you already kind of have this. You already call yourself certain things in your mind. But in order to get to that next step of who you truly are, because you truly are these positive habits and these positive states of being, you must just become the person you are, the person you want to be now. You must just be that person. Just live in that state of being. And yes, in the beginning it may feel fake. It may feel like you're playing a character, you're playing an act. But truly, that's who you are, and then eventually it lodges into your subconscious mind. Just do it. Like if I go 5, 6, 7 days without hitting a workout, I'm like, what am I doing? This is weird. It's as weird as somebody who just started working out and they feel like, oh, this is weird. What am I doing? So it lodges into your subconscious mind of, oh, we have to work out today. It's been 2-3 days. We got to do this. Yes, that is a feedback mechanism that is just in my mind. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, we have to read. We haven't read in a while. What are we doing? We have to meditate. We haven't meditated in a while. What are we doing? That is just a feedback that is just in my mind, right? But these feedbacks are feedback mechanisms that I actually created because I told myself I am the type of person to do those things. The next one is use environmental triggers. I used to live in a place called Scottsdale. It's a very affluent place in the city of Phoenix, right? And before moving to these places, I had a lot of blockages, a lot of wealth creation blockages in my mind, coming from the place that I was born, right? But I worked a sales job in this city, and I met a lot of people who created a decent amount of wealth for themselves. And I was able to talk to these people for a long amount of time. And I found in their mind, they thought about wealth completely different than I thought about wealth. I even remember an awkward experience, and it shouldn't be awkward, but it kind of was, where some guy was talking to me about assault treadmills. It's the self-propelled treadmills. I'll put a picture on screen here, but I said it was expensive. I was like, oh yeah. He was like, yeah, don't those things cost like 6-10 grand? And I was like, yeah, they're kind of expensive. And then he looked at me and it got awkward because I said the word expensive. So you start to realize, like, damn, this is some people really think that nothing is expensive. I'm still not completely over that blockage of thinking things are expensive and thinking things aren't expensive. But I found it very interesting that when I said the word expensive, he got kind of like, oh, that's not expensive for me, or I don't find that expensive. He didn't say it, but the body language cues gave that off. And that was when I was talking to multiple people. It wasn't always this like awkward moment, but it was like, oh wow, that's how you think about wealth. Wow, that's how you think about financial creation. Wow, that's interesting that you think about it like this, and I think about it like this. And what we think is what we become. So if we think we can't do something, you're right, you can't do it. If you think you can do something, you're right, you can do it. right? So it's just believing in yourself. Because the world believes in you, right? Believe in yourself because the world believes in you, and whatever you believe is what reflects back onto you. I believe that if you think that the next person you meet is going to be one of the nicest people in the world, your brain is going to find certain things, whether they be their body language cues, whether they be things that they say, that actually makes them the nicest person in the world. If you think you're a charismatic person, then you're gonna find little cues, little things where you become that charismatic big person. So coming back to the point, it's all about your environment. This is one of the reasons that aren't discussed enough on why the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. Because sometimes people who are poor aren't able to travel outside of their city, aren't able to travel outside their state, aren't able to live in these wealthier areas and see like, oh, this is the normal. This is the average. Like when I lived in Scottsdale, I was seeing Ferraris, Lamborghinis just drive past me very casually, right? It shocked me at first. I was like, whoa, what's going on? But eventually it just didn't shock me. It was just like another car. I was just like, oh, that's cool. I don't take this with a grain of salt, right? I'm not extreme. I'm not like wealthy beyond. I'm not wealthy at all, right? Well, I am wealthy, but in a different way. Point being, I don't want this to come off like I'm faking a front or whatever it be. But the point is, right, your environment dictates your behavior. If you go to the gym, you're going to be more likely to work out. What else are you going to do? That's why I like to have dumbbells right next to me, pull-up bar right next to me. You look into my room, I don't even have a TV. I just have my computer screen, my desk, and the things that I keep my clothes in and the things that I sleep on. But in a whiteboard, it almost looks like an office. It's a very work-orientated room, right? Because I just want to do work in my room, right? I don't want to F off too many times. It may happen, but it happens significantly less when you shape your environment to the things that you want to do. If you want to exercise more, just buy a dumbbell. Keep it there, right? The simple fact that dumbbell is in your environment is going to gravitate you to exercise more. And this all comes down to vibrational frequencies and the energy that certain items, certain things hold that gravitates you to aligning with the same frequency of that item. Reality creation, all this other stuff that we don't have to get into. It goes into metaphysics and, we don't have to get into that today. But point being, shape your environment to what you want to do. Shape your environment to what you do. Right? It's like if you have a bunch of snacks, you can eat snacks more. If you have somebody surrounding you, somebody by you who is not aligned with your same goals, you're gonna gravitate to not being aligned with the same goals. I remember a friend group that I hung out with. I was running at a park, and when I was running at that park, my friend group was also at this park. And then one of my friends of that friend group said, "Oh, you're just an exercise freak now." He's like, "Oh, I guess you're just an exercise freak now." And it kind of shocked me. And this is when I first started taking care of my health, because I was like, dang, like that was kind of weird that he said that. But it was because that environment, that group didn't exercise. They didn't want to work out, right? So that shaped me into also not wanting to exercise, into also not wanting to work out. But I shocked their vibration when I actually started to take charge and do my own thing. Barely hang out with those guys now. The point being, but now I hang out with people who exercise and work out. So it's kind of funny how that works, right? Your environment dictates a lot of things, and it makes it incredibly easy to do a disciplinary activity. Going back to, if you're in the library, what are you going to do? You're probably going to read a book, right? It makes it, even if you bring your own book, sometimes I bring my own book. Even if you bring your own book, you're more likely to read. It's just how it is. Your environment will dictate what action you are doing. It's incredibly simple, but it's a strong point nonetheless. That's it for today, guys. If you want any online personal training, whether that be fitness, self-mastery, link is in the description. It's That's Greatness. See you in the next one.